All right there, lads. Anfield Road TV, me and Kev back again. I've missed Kev. Obviously, he's only been away 24 hours. But Kev, hope you're well, mate. And most importantly, hopefully everyone tuning in this evening is safe and well. Kev, how have you been, mate?
Good, bud. Good, you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. We've got a very busy show this evening. Speak about obviously potential couple of Liverpool players. That will be especially a couple of young Liverpool players. Leaving Reece Williams and Billy Cometio. Speak a bit about that as well. A little bit on Fofana. Going to talk a bit about that as well. And obviously the big main story this evening. If you haven't seen it, we'll go through it anyway today in relation to Billy Hogan, obviously more or less demanding and just putting it in the best way possible for the businessman to say, like a little shove to FSG. But obviously it was interesting reading. We'll go through that as well. But firstly, obviously straight into obviously the news, obviously very sad news that did happen yesterday as well. Liverpool tweeting and of course Anfield Road TV as well. Everyone's thoughts go out to obviously everyone involved. It was absolutely horrible. Thoughts and prayers from me and Kevin and everyone on the channel. And yeah, it's very sad news and everyone involved. But we are thinking of them at this difficult moment. Kev, in terms of the football, mate, going back onto obviously Liverpool, it's going to be a difficult period in relation to the next couple of weeks, getting players in as well. In terms of Billy Hogan, are you expecting him? Well, we'll go through his thoughts anyway on obviously what he said about FSG, but do you expect him to come out with you don't expect him to come out all guns like blazing, really, do you, in relation to obviously, because we've seen it in the past, Jurgen Klopp, we've seen chief executive CEOs for Liverpool not really being candid, being very, very handshaky, really. They're not really going to step out of line, but would you like a bit more vocalness from, like, obviously Billy Hogan in the future, as we will speak about tonight, mate? Or
yeah, I do and I don't. I like when Liverpool do their business behind closed doors, but I don't like seeing a CEO being not as much in the know with regards to his bosses. Like as a CEO, you should pretty much know everything that's going on at the club and the thoughts and the processes of who we need to sign, when signings are going to happen, all of this kind of stuff, you know. So I don't know, man. It's a weird one for me. I'm glad that he's kind of vocal, because I'm glad he's kind of getting the point across that we do need to do something. Whether that's just to appease the fans, or to kick the owners up the arse.
Yeah.
I don't know what his intentions are there, but all I know is that his intentions are right. He wants to see the best for the club, and he wants to see the club moving forward. After Klopp, and you know, as he said, it was himself. You know, it was a seismic movement within the club, but his timing gave Liverpool ample opportunity to be able to do due diligence in the transfer market and restructuring market and a whole lot to get going. My only thoughts that it's not after happening yet is because, you know, it's probably down to Schlatt himself, kind of saying, you know, I'm going to assess whatever players I have now, and as soon as I want you to pull the trigger, please pull the trigger. And then that's kind of where I think it sits.
Would you say as well, mate, and shall let us know, keep on getting your thoughts, and we'll get specifically to those direct quotes as well. We'll mill over a couple of them. Won't bore you with all the comments from them, but the interesting points, Kev. But it's going to be interesting in terms of, with Jurgen Klopp obviously stepping away from the football club over the last 6 months as well. There's more responsibility and more onus, really, on the people in terms of recruitment, I'd say, even more now. Obviously, they've done a very good job bringing in the high caliber players that they did at Jurgen Klopp's time now. But this obviously goes to the point that we did discuss like 12 months ago in terms of the infrastructure. Obviously, Edwards coming in, being the head of obviously FSG football and operations, really. He's got obviously overseeing eyes of Liverpool as well. There's so much more responsibility now as you alluded to, with obviously Arne Slot coming in. He's got his mandate, really. He's got his own ideas and his vision and his goals. He wants to be winning. But I think, like to Billy Hogan and people, because for all that good progression Klopp has made, mate, and we as a football club in that time period as well. I don't know how you feel, but I don't want us to be taking 5 steps forward and then taking 20 steps back over like a 5-year period, and we're back to where we used to be in the year in the Brendan Rodgers era, to say the least, as well.
Well, this is why it's so important for the fans to get immediately behind Slot. I'm not saying that they won't, and I'm not saying anything. It's just that we know that there's a certain element of the fan base out there that will easily try and be as vocal as possible online and try to make everything doom and gloom. It's best not to get behind these type of people and just get with what, just get behind the team as it is at the moment and Slot. The rest hopefully will come to fruition. But okay, yeah, if Hogan is doing this, he's doing it either saying that it is a transitional period of management. Klopp ran everything from top to bottom inside in the place. I don't even think those guys had much to do outside of the paperwork, really. I think Klopp kind of did a lot of the day-to-day stuff when he was in there and more of the hands-on stuff, but and delegated to the rest of these guys. But for me, it's important, that Liverpool stay within the rest of the teams that are around them. I'm not at panic mode yet. It is still July, lads. We're about to play our second pre-season match tonight against Arsenal, and it'll be a good test for us. I think Slot just wants to see who's going to fit into the box. I think what you're seeing right now is, as you say, Cometio and Reece Williams and all of that are about to leave. Yeah. If you're, do we get onto that part yet?
Well, you've cheated up there. I mean, we'll get straight into it anyway. As we said we would. But yeah, just quickly paraphrasing really what you've said. Just 1 second here, chat. I have got it up. But where's it gone? Shout out to Pepe Reina as well. He's gone to the Fabregas's new team. If you haven't seen his little induction video that he's done, typical Pepe Reina. He was the happiness of the Spanish national side when you were very successful in that great legendary period 20 years ago anyway. But going to this one as well, this is obviously reports from The Athletic as well. The reports or these articles are in the description as well, so please do check all the links out as well and dive into them in their more entirety, really, from the very good journalists as well. But reported from The Athletic this afternoon, Liverpool defenders Reece Williams and Billy Cometio are set to leave, according to The Athletic. In their report, it reported that the pair have been training with the under-21s rather than Slot senior squad during pre-season as well. Obviously, Williams made 19 senior appearances for the Reds, is attracting interest from Turkey and several League One clubs. So what do you think? What do you think about that, Kev? It's mad because I think when we had that season that we all remember, when him and Nat Phillips were at the back, I'm like 12 months.
Forever grateful for.
Yeah. Are you surprised, or Chalers? No, are you surprised that really they didn't get picked up by a championship side, or do you think that in such a good momentum in that period that they were surrounded by better players? Not necessarily, obviously, they brought their own qualities to the team, but do you think it was helped that they were in such a... I think
it's a mix of everything, I mean, Cometio and all, he never really kind of hit the ground run. He was given opportunities on the top and it didn't really take off for him. I think it's all about build with these kind of lads. They're tall lads, but they never really got big and strong.
Yeah.
And whereas you see, look at Trent right now. Trent was a skinny lad, came in as a right back, showed his talent there, and then all of a sudden, build from there. Got himself physically stronger as he went on. Now the dude is a beast. It's just you have to build yourself physically as well as mentally and ability wise within a team of this caliber to get. And if you can do really well in a slide tackle and reach the ball perfect in a slide tackle, the skinniest lad in the world can take the ball off the strongest lad in the world by just slide tackling a fella.
Look at Makaleli. None back in the day.
Skinny. He's only got skinny arms. That's what, but to be able to battle with a dude in the air constantly, to be able to muscle fellas off the balls, to be able to lean into players, you need muscle at the back. And they've never really grown into that kind of size of a player or a caliber of a player. Yeah. And they didn't really push on from there. They were given opportunities, but it's just goes on. It's other talent that has come through and has done even better. Look at Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa's already there. He's already got the physicality. he's already,
Mm.
you know, yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
was going
already
to say,
there.
he's already there, Kev.
Is it
I was
not
going to
tonight or
say,
tomorrow?
no. Patrick's spot on there, mate.
Is it tomorrow? Okay.
Thank you for keeping us on on our toes, lads. Anyway, certainly. I was
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to say, chat, will you be watching? I know, Kev, will you be doing a watch along? I won't be.
I'll,
Anyway.
I'll be doing a watch along. It's just I assumed it was I thought it was the 31st, but it's the 31st in America. And
Yeah, no, nice one, Patrick, for reminding us, mate. Anyway, but
yeah.
yeah, it's I concur with that, mate. Chat, let us know your thoughts on. Obviously, it will be interesting. I don't think we'll get a lot of money for Reece Williams or obviously Billy Cametio. But Billy, obviously, I've not been a massive avid watcher of the under 21s really in terms of Liverpool, but I know a lot of you out there that do watch. I know obviously our mate, obviously Nigel, he watches quite refusely really a lot of the under 21 football as well, but it's one of them. He come through the academy with a lot of expectations, but like not just Billy, but obviously I remember Jerome Sinclair and plenty of other youngsters that even Ben
Kevin
Woodburn,
Stewart,
Ben
Ben
Woodburn,
Woodburn.
like
Yeah, there's loads. The lad at Fulham now, what's his name?
Harry Wilson,
Harry
yeah,
Wilson. All
Ryan
these guys.
Kent as well. Like
Yeah.
it's just mad. But the main thing is obviously that all the young players do stay in football and make a career out of it. Because even if you get into like, I think I seen like was it the Wrexham documentary? Was it like they are still quite paid? I know it's Wrexham, but teams down there and like
Yeah.
League 3, League 4, or whatnot in and around that sphere. They're paid like quite a fair bit, much better than the average working man anyway, or woman anyway.
I should always think, as an ex-footballer myself, and I should always think of this as a taste. If it doesn't work out, it's not because you're not good enough. It's because there's somebody else that suits the system better than you, or suits a manager better than you, or something like that. It doesn't mean that you're not able to play football, but you will suit somewhere else. So you just move on. It might be your ideal club to go to Liverpool, but you should always keep the door open and say that I can come back when it does suit. And always kind of like drive on and just push yourself for the next club. You want to play football. It's all about football. But when you become a footballer, it's only a very rare handful of footballers that get to compete for their childhood, their boyhood club. Yes. And that's the rarest thing in football, to be honest with you. So you either like the sport or you like the club. And if you think it's all over for you when you leave your boyhood club, it's not. It's only the beginning. It just means that you can develop better elsewhere and really work. Instead of working on the stress levels of trying to play for your boyhood club, work on your football and just go and play. And that's the best thing I can say to you.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Chat, keep on getting your comments in anyway. North saying he thought that Nat would have killed it at Chelsea as well. Yeah.
Celtic, yeah.
Yeah, Celtic. North, how did he get on? I didn't see a lot of him.
He was injured a lot, I think. When he was up there, rarely enough, because Phillips doesn't tend to get injured that often, but he had a fair few injuries.
Yeah, all good, Patrick. Nice one, mate. If you're new around here as well, everyone, there's been plenty of new subscribers and obviously the OGs on the channel. Anyone just discovering us, hello. Hope you all had a very good Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning if you are watching this on the repeat. On the road to 6K subscribers, obviously all Kev's channel links are in the description. That's obviously you can find Kev's socials at Spider LFC and of course the Kitmen YouTube channel as well. And obviously quickly touched on Cametio. He's been linked supposedly with clubs from Scotland and France. Obviously being a native French player as well, so I'm pretty sure he won't be shy of suitors really.
Yeah, he'll end up playing up in Lille, or he'll end up in Marseille or something like that, playing good football. You know, there's a lot of footballers that came even for big fees to England, didn't do it well, and then ended up going off to Portugal or France or somewhere like that and playing really, really well.
The straight back into obviously the Billy Hogan talk, mate, in chat. Obviously a little section on obviously the opportunity classes Billy Hogan as an opportunity to reset at Liverpool, very much speaking what we spoke about at the top of the show as well, and providing the opportunity for a reboot and to reset, maybe to look at how things operate going forward. Billy Hogan was speaking to obviously BBC Sports as well. Jurgen departing was a seismic decision, but clearly the right decision for him and his family. So by that extension, the right decision for the club. Didn't have any other choice, Billy. He was never clear. He was never clear about leaving.
He's very clear.
Oh yeah, he was very clear about leaving the club in a better place than where he found it, and I think he has done that. The timing of his announcement gave us the opportunity to go through to proper process, the proper due process, and that's what we've all said, mate, innit? And
loads of time.
like, how many times do you see the modern day football managers just pack up and leave? I get there's no loyalty no more in football. I think every football fan understands that, but
they've never managed Liverpool Football Club, Jack.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah,
it's the fan base and the club. It's a massive. It's so big, the difference for this. You know, as much as we can say that United are a massive club and Arsenal are a massive club, whatever that, there's a sickly sense always lingering through that club. There's like a sickness going through it. I don't know what it is. They're up, they're down, they hate, they love. There's just a weirdness there that Liverpool fans and Liverpool people from Liverpool and people who support Liverpool outside that just don't tend to even go towards with like a disdain for the club or you know, a personal disdain for the club. It's weird, man. It's brilliant as a Liverpool fan. It's brilliant for the club, but it's weird to see other clubs of certain statures go down that route. You know, we don't tend to have it in Liverpool, which is great.
It's mad as well, though, Chat and Kev. Obviously, everyone's screaming. Obviously, non-Liverpool fans go, "Oh, Roy Hodgson." But the fact is, Roy, when he come in, he just didn't understand Liverpool. No. I don't think he even understood the Northwest, even Manchester, or like, which is mad considering because he was sat on the bench. We all remember the videos of him just rubbing his face.
Yeah. The frustration of it all, Jack. It's you know, he didn't understand how to get the best out of these type of players, and it didn't work out for him. It was doom and gloom from day one.
Yeah.
Good manager, you know, good man, and he suits a different type of process than what he's used to at Liverpool, a different expectation than what he was used to at Liverpool. You know, managing these kind of these weird international teams and or just random international teams. Not weird, I should say.
Would you say it was the most difficult time at Liverpool as well, don't we?
Yeah.
When we all take into account, obviously, the owners and the players.
And Gillette, everything. Yeah, it was terrible. Nobody should have been able to manage. Look, Benitez has been one of our greatest managers in history. And even he left kind of with a tainted kind of legacy because of those owners and the way it went down. And they wanted to do more before he left. And all of that. But look, all I can say is the club's in a far more stable place now than what it was 15 years ago, and I'm happy for that. We're not short of money. We've invested well when we need to invest, and like I know there's like FSG and FSG and all that. I'm always going to be on defense until they do something wrong by the club. So and just because they're not signing players to everybody's needs and must in a transfer window doesn't mean that I'm going to go against them. That's just childish reason.
Anyone that watches you, Kev, especially when you're being on the channel as well, everyone knows my thoughts, man, and Kev's as well. The thing is, we want to be spending, hence with the start and with the title as well. For any football club, for that matter, really, you can always improve. Even Real Madrid, with the likes of Mbappe, like Jude and everything, they can still improve in certain areas. Like right back as well. I know Danny Carvalho is very good, but I think there's still room. They could get Trent or another player or more players in their team. Even the centre-back positions as well, even City.
I think that's why Liverpool haven't made a move in the market yet. They just want to lock down these guys. Contracts as well. And they want to make sure that there's something going to happen within this window. But also, look, they're assessing the lads that are there at the moment. Like, how unfair would it be for Slot? Like, but how plastic would it be for the fan base to applaud Slot coming in? And just getting rid of everybody and signing everybody instantly, undermining everything the club did, undermining players that have played really well for the club, and then just when like that. That's for me. That's as fickle as it gets, and it's not being a Liverpool fan. We understand how the club works, so let's see what suits the club first. Then just make the signings. We've a month and a bit, you know, like so a month and a week or something. So we're good.
Yeah, the conveyor belt that's going on at Chelsea, like they sign all these players, and even Chelsea fans out there, the sensible ones are going, who's this lad? We literally haven't even heard of him. You'll get obviously the big marquee signs. Everyone goes, "Oh, this from Kunku, you know, it sounds." But you've just got another like 10 players to add to your like 75-man squad for the next season. Like, did you know 11 lads can only go on the pitch at one time? Like, it's just
and they're not buying comparators because you have to understand Michael Edwards and all of them do their buying based on stats. They do it based on injury history and stuff like that, you know. But at the same time, the amount of people that came in when Michael Edwards left that had injuries was nuts. And who said that about injuries or something? Said was that about?
Probably
Okay,
one of the players.
Probably Cometio and Reece. Okay, but yeah, even you're talking about injuries and right. Look at Christopher Nkunku. You know, he did a history of things with his knee, with his knee and his calf. And then he's barely kicked the football for Chelsea after all that money and after all that hype and all of that. That's not what we wanted at the club. We had that with Thiago and Oxlade-Chamberlain when Edwards left, you know, and we had Naby Keita was there before Edwards even properly came in, and he's kind of sponged the living at Liverpool for a few seasons, you know.
Look at Lukaku for that amount of money. The fact that he went to United and Chelsea,
United pre TV rights money as well. Pogba, Lukaku, all of those guys went for 90 plus million or 89 to 94 million before it was the TV rights money. That's the equivalent of 165 million pounds today. Oh, sorry, 139 million pounds, about 160 million.
Like valuation then would probably be Mbappe-esque, like ridiculous sums of money. Anyway, but yeah, it's crazy world we live in, chat. We will sign players as well as if you missed yesterday's episode that I done on my own, where we spoke about obviously Endo. I'll ask Kev about that move as well. Sepp van den Berg, especially if you are watching this on Wednesday, there's probably already been another bid lodged. As we spoke about last night, it's anticipated that PSV or other clubs in Europe will bid again for Sepp van den Berg. He's got big plaudits from a lot of the
young lad at them Bakayoko, is it?
For PSV,
yeah. Send Bakayoko this way and we'll send you Sepp van den Berg.
Couple of ads, haven't we? After
we'd have to add about 20 million to it.
15, so
yeah. We'd have to add about 20 million, 25 million to it just so they see that it's there. But getting a player like that in the door of that caliber, which is a future person to replace Mo Salah, like he's at such a young age that he won't mind playing a lot less. Yeah, like what if Darwin Núñez doesn't hit the ground running again this season? We all want him to, but if he doesn't, Salah's going to have to move more central. If we have a player like that to move out right, the problem that Salah hasn't moved more central is because we have nobody to replace Salah on the right hand side. It's very difficult to do so. And when we put Diaz or somebody like that out there, he doesn't cross enough for me. You know, so yeah,
it's going to be one of them, mate, isn't it? And just obviously, like Jimenez, obviously the Feyenoord striker. Yeah. You never know. There could be. I know historically managers don't tend to go out and get the ex-players, but it just depends the way in which Slot wants to play.
But they're easy movements, Jack. They're easy movements to make because they don't know what the future is. They don't know what the new manager is going to do. This and that. They could be sitting there with their agents talking to Slot and all of this at the same time, saying, "Look, we don't know whether we're making a move yet, but hang on, I just have to assess the squad, and as soon as I say where we need placements, that I'm going to come back for who I know." You know, there could be easily scenarios like that happen, but it's easy movements because not many other people are looking at these people at the moment. Yeah. Maybe like your Verts now or something like that, maybe. So
yeah, they'll be all biting at a bit, mate, and just 100%. Obviously, Panov saying, don't think Roy understands himself, Jack. Thing is, for the years.
Was that Panov? I didn't even realise. Yes. Yeah. I was going, lad.
Yeah. Mickey with the usual FSG out. Mickey, I swear you screamed that at like 5 o'clock in the morning when you wake up for work, lads. FSG out. Fair play.
Actually, I'll throw this at you, Ricky. Ricky, can you put it into the chat exactly the reason right now why you want FSG out right now? This season.
I still don't believe this is Ricky's real account anyway. I've spoken to him about it.
I know I want to know for this one because I understand with the time of putting up the ticket sales and doing all of that. But they've still signed the people that we need to. The only bad window I think that they've had was the year after we won the league. They didn't do enough for me. But that was down to Klopp saying that he didn't. That was a naivety of Klopp as well, thinking that he didn't need to sign players and he told them that. So it's kind of semi-blame on Klopp as well. So I don't know that time. So I want to know right now why, or anybody in the chat actually for that matter, who thinks that why FSG should be out right now.
Yeah, I just find it mad that just quality within City side at that period. Like Cole Palmer on the bench, like and look what he's doing at Chelsea. Like it's one thing trying to compete with City, but when you analyse the whole club, obviously, when you just focus solely, I know it's difficult just to focus solely on the football side of things in terms of their playing side. But I think they're trying to flog. I seen, was it Alvarez this week as well? It's been linked with Chelsea.
But you know what City have been doing, Jack?
Been selling players for 20.
They've been selling players to teams that you would consider big teams in the last few years. But they know that's not going to do much damage to City. Yeah. Do you understand? So they know they wouldn't sell to us if we wanted a couple of players because we can actually take them on.
They'd never give others like Haaland.
But they'd sell Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal, who was still doing well at City. They'd sell Zinchenko or something to Arsenal, who was still doing well, just to kind of pop him up a bit. I know he didn't do too well at Arsenal, but he was good at City. They'd sell Cole Palmer to Chelsea. They'd sell Raheem Sterling to Chelsea. They'd sell these type of players to these kind of clubs because if those clubs could do any damage to us or anybody else that's catching up with them, that's their job done. It just benefits them in the long run. So that's why they're selling around the Premier League and outside it, really.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Chat, we'll go straight into obviously a couple more quotes from Billy Hogan as well. It was speaking in relation to on the financial controls within the Premier League. Hogan said remains committed to the strong rules. Let's see if I can read this. It's been a long day. I think it's important that the rules have teeth. Well, that's a bit funny, Jack, because you were saying put me teeth in. Have teeth. And if clubs fall foul of that, then the Premier League has a process to go. As a process to go. We are supportive of those rules and being sustainable as well. Thoughts on that line, Kev? It's sustainable. It's typical. I was going to say media trained, but like
I don't listen to any of that crap.
Yeah, and then he goes on to say, closer speaking about the UEFA.
We're so much in it. We're so much in the blackjack. We don't have to worry about spending money.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry at all about spending money.
Yeah, we have the most competitive and global. We have the most competitive and global league. We know that, and it's important we keep it that way. And the only way in any business, I've got a degree in finance. But all of us know in any business, Kev and Chas, to be competitive and to be continuing to be at the top of your game as a high-ranking business, you need to invest within your business as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I do believe that Slad is going to look at how we play against Arsenal and United over the next coming days, and I think that's going to be a clear indicator of what's needed. We all know that we need a DM, like 100% we need a DM, but I think they're going to look at what type of DM they need, or maybe two different types of lower level DM rather than going for one big name and it maybe not working out. Liverpool would always want to cover their bases, and especially if Wataru Endo leaves or until that, Wiggs, I totally understand that, but I wouldn't play that on FSG. Would also play that on the guys that are doing the scouting and the hiring, because FSG said the money were there, right? I'm not FSG pro, don't get me wrong, guys, but I'm looking at it from both sides, and I'm looking at their quotes and what they say, and they said, look, the money is there. It's just that it has to be down to the right type of player.
It's going to massively backfire, though. So big up there, Wiggs, as well.
It will, yeah, it will.
Yeah.
If we don't get it at number 6, we're not competing too much this season. So I think that's an important step to take.
It's going to be a long season, 100%.
Yeah.
But obviously Wiggs saying it'd for the audio listeners. It's from Wiggs, big up that. We've been after a DM for 3 summers now. It started with true many, butchered that up the heads. Every season we get the same. The player wasn't available. Other teams solve solutions straight away, except FSG. And Kev would concur with that, mate. I think all of us would.
Yeah, I do
as well, mate. Quickly, was Gary in the comments? Big up there, lads. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you for tuning in. And chat, 9 of you's in. Drop a like on the video. Really gets it out to everyone as well. Very much appreciated. Give a little cheeky share and subscribe if you are new. Gary saying, Talio Lan and Kev, Sel Carvalho, sign Elmo. FSG, get the Wallace out as well. We're all saying that, but we're praying. We're fingers crossed and everything. Well, fingers crossed we can get it sorted. As Panov saying, I do feel we need to get a decent DM. If nothing else, just keep us fans quiet, it would make sense low as well.
I don't see where we're desperately in need of anywhere else in the thing, especially with Conor Bradley stepping up now into the right back position. We were always thinking maybe we needed somebody to kind of back up Trent, but we do know it allows Trent a free role as long as Conor Bradley's in there in certain games. You know that McAllister can come back and protect Endo if he's told to. I just think that Endo in the games he was brilliant last season. He had the good players around him that tucked in and helped him out and stuff like that. In the games he was left open, there was a complete gap between him, the defence, and our midfielders that just drifted, like your Harvey Elliott's and your Gravenbergs and your Gakpos at times were just too far forward away from him to give him any help. And sometimes Jones. But Jones is a fantastic controller of the ball. So if his passes percentage is up there with the best.
Ball retention.
It's around the 94 percentile all the time. He had 100% passing accuracy in the last game that we played before he went off. It's brilliant what kind of player he can be. But for me, lately, he's been kind of turned into a bit of a Henderson where he passes back a bit too much. And that shows most of where his stats are coming from recently. So I think I need to see more progressive play out of him for me to rate him or think that he's going to break into this team.
Yeah, it's as I said last night, mate. You can tell Kevin to watch the video. I can tell a lot of you didn't watch the video.
I was driving on the way down from Thurles. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, there we go. Good lesson. So only joking as
I could.
It's one of them weeks though. We spoke about Curtis Jones last night as well, mate. And hopefully you haven't seen it, but as I said on that show last night, it's going to be one of them. We shouldn't be judging players for what he done for Jurgen Klopp. Because Jurgen Klopp, from a tactical aspect in certain part of his Liverpool career, didn't have a Scooby-Doo certain weeks. How many times did we watch like the same goal from a corner go in like 3 weeks on the bounce? It's like, what are we doing on training? Like that, there's training and then there's just being absolute utter lazy. I know it might be difficult and the mindset really in certain players, and you're like, well, but I think with Curtis Jones, as Kev alluded to there, and how many times did we watch Curtis under Jurgen Klopp, he'd be up the pitch, but he'd be trying to dribble past 3 players and then he loses the ball. But under Slot now, there's so much emphasis really, as Kevin alluded to the possession-based, the more control. And it's mad the fan base as well, certain section of our fan base that were going, oh, we're going to be boring. It's like, it doesn't bother me if we're boring to watch, but we are winning games. I don't think any Liverpool fan...
No, we're not going to be boring. I think he's trying to solidify how to control the midfield first before he starts releasing them.
How you win games, Kev?
Yeah.
In the modern era, you need to keep hold of that ball.
There's a big difference in preseason is the best place to do that. If you're not like, it's grand saying that you could be playing a nobody team and stick 5 past them, but like, oh yeah, Liverpool are fire, this and that. But next time you come up against anybody with a bit of caliber and you can't hold on to the ball, or you're getting passed through like last couple of seasons where the ball was going from their defence through our midfield, bypassing into a runner going between Van Dijk and whoever the defender is, and then just sauntering through and goal into an open goal. It was stupid the way we kind of defended over the last couple of seasons. It was ridiculous. It was amateurish. And, at points, Vard seemed to be doing a lot of stuff on his own, and our other lads didn't have the legs to stay with him, and then at other times he was a bit clueless himself stepping across. So look, there was a lot of complacency in the back lane, and I don't want to see that again. But what I did like seeing the other night is how Jones did play within the system. How Neoni, when he came on afterwards, he was fantastic within the system. He was controlling everything. The passing was released. It was very hard for the other team to get hold of the midfield, and then that's when you can create chances. Remember, I know we've Salah there and all that, but we don't have some of the other lads back here. We don't have a Darwin Núñez making runs into the box yet. We don't have an McAllister there yet to do these kind of things. We don't have Andy Robertson, any of these guys. They're not fully there yet. I know Robertson's probably not ready, but it's not. They're not fully there yet for these guys to be able to start making runs. We're going to see it over the next week or so. And if some of the lads aren't up for the scratch and not really getting how Slot plays, he'll move him on, or he'll look to move him on, or he'll drop him down the pecking order, move on some of the young fellas, and then sign fellas over him. So it's one or the other. I wouldn't be too worried. I appreciate the fact that he's actually looking at the team that we have and then saying how we can guess, because it's hard to say kind of to kick somebody out. Like, can you honestly say somebody's absolute crap within the team, or just somebody that just doesn't suit the system under Klopp? So I would rather he did that first. Did his due diligence, as I said.
100%, mate. We need to be 3 months in, as I said last night. 3 months into Klopp was he left ages ago. Arne Slot. It's going to be weird next season.
It is, isn't it? It is.
It's going to be mad. And Kev, I was going to say, you're going to get an Arnie shot before the new season starts.
Am I going to get what?
An Arnie shot.
Am I going to get an Arnie shot? Yeah, I'm going to get all over me. But it's no, look, man, I appreciate his tactics. Oh, me? No, just,
yeah,
am I going to cut all of that to get an Arnie shot? Yeah, Kev, I look like a man Tung Po from what's that in Kickboxer, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh,
if I shaved it up here, I'd be like Tung Po at the back, wouldn't it? So no, yeah, but no, look. Slot's football, his tactics, everything is fairly spot on. He's doing the right things. He's doing the right type of coaching. He's doing the right assessments. He's pushing the lads. The lads are saying it themselves that the training is just unique. It's new. It's hard, and it's making them have a better understanding for football as well. And we all know how good Jurgen Klopp's football was, but we can also understand that sometimes if something's there so long and it becomes so comfortable, it's harder for somebody to take somebody seriously, even if somebody's angry. So Klopp could have been angry in the training ground, and some of the lads just mightn't be feeling it like they did before, where they had that kind of fear put into them or that whatever. It just becomes too easy going, and then you start seeing the same mistakes happening on the pitch. So that's Klopp spotted this, I think, and that's why Klopp is a genius. He spotted this was happening, and he said, "I'm only doing more damage to this team now than I am helping."
Yeah, fair play, because again, any job, mate, like if you like your boss or whoever's leaving, like the performance level in any business would drop down massively. But as you said there, Kev, I think he even himself, we knew the news was last year. He probably just went back home, probably after one of the way, because there was reports on like the last year as well, even like book signings. I was meant to have gone to Pep Linder's book signing as well. Would have liked to have met him. But that period was a very difficult, very difficult period, and he cancelled the book signing as well, because I think at that time there was hairdryer was meant to be getting blown anyway, but that seemed to be happening every week. And when that happens at a club like Liverpool, especially the camaraderie that was being built by Klopp, there's only so many times you can start having arguments, like especially for something like if it's like a personality, like a manager like Jurgen, that he's very welcoming, but as players in the past have said, you don't want to get on the wrong side of him. But if he's constantly screaming at them every week, it's just going to lose its effect.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. If you're hearing the same screaming at somebody, and then the majority of your team are pretty much old heads, not like a handful of older heads. Like you had your Milners, your Hendersons, your Virgils, and and some of the senior players there, but and everybody else was still kind of, Salah's kind of a quiet one. He's still very senior, but with everybody else around him young, your Trents, your Robbers, they were all still young and hungry.
I think Milner will be a big miss. As much as Liverpool fans out second of our fan base, wow, Milner, but it's his personality, like what a winner, mate! Like what a personality he's having.
He did, yeah. He was a legend within any team he was bloody in. So he was part of the discipline process there as well. You could see straight away like that he butted heads or clapped the minute they came in. They said they nearly went to blows multiple times in their history. But look, it's one of those things. The senior players have to move on. You have to get people off the books eventually, and it's just nice to say that now our senior players have urged and all of that, and in their own way they're still youngish enough with how they act and things. So. We don't have any older senior players per se. Thiago is gone now as well, and Alisson, Verge, maybe Trent has to step up into that.
And Kevin, sorry, I'm dying. That sounds like dying here. That's a bit of me, Mike. Apologies, 100% agree. New players in, and that's where Trent comes in as well, mate. And then just like Trent is what going to be? I think he's 26 now, is he, or 25? But he's going to be that more or less the senior figure. Ali, Salah, Virgil as well.
He has to be,
and even Curtis Jones to an extent. I know he's still how old's Jones? 22, 23, or whatever he is. But he's going to be regarded. He's been around the group for a very long time now as well. So we will be.
Trent is 25, by the way.
Was he 25? Yeah.
So I'll get Curtis's.
Yeah. So even Curtis, I think he's been in that environment for like
23.
Yeah. So he's more or less nearly a senior figure in that squad now as well. Yeah. So, let's get to Panov's comments as well. We were boring but winning. We were great to watch but losing. Though some fans will moan. I tell you what, Panov, if social media was around and X Spaces were around in the 70s and 80s, we'd be winning the European Cup and the Premier League double. But there would, I know for a fact, and we all know there would have been a fact. We'd probably just be battered Saint Etienne, and there'd still be people complaining. It's like, mate, like, what you want? It's
I
like,
don't think there's anything boring about Liverpool, to be honest. I think he's studying more on defending and controlling the midfield. And then he says, I think as a coach, he realizes that attacking comes easy. And attacking's probably one of the easiest, as long as you got the talent there, it's one of the easiest things to do in the game if you can speed up the play. But the football is fast. The movement is fast. The movement is much faster, lads, on the ball than what it was on the clock the last couple of seasons. If you notice that the 1-2 interchanges, this and that, just because it's staying around the midfield doesn't mean that it's not exciting to watch these guys dropping in and out, which is good.
100%. Panov, do you think Virgil van Dijk and Trent will keep the captain? I'd say, yeah, mate. I think Van Dijk will get another 2-year deal. So what would that take Trent up to? 27? Yeah. So if Van Dijk gets a 2-year contract extension on what he's already got, Virgil's what, 23 now?
Virgil? No.
Yeah. I think he's like
Virgil, 30.
No, he's 22, 23 now, Virgil, I think.
Virgil van Dijk?
Yeah. We'll check that now. But I'm pretty sure he is.
Virgil van Dijk is 22, 23.
Oh, no. Oh, bloody
what the hell are you saying now? What are you talking about? You're confusing me.
Sorry, it's only Tuesday. Oh, sorry.
That's the same. You got me confused.
Sorry for anyone that sees me this week anyway, or doing the shows with Kev or use. Yeah, 33.
33, yeah. I said 33 and a third. So it's, but yeah, I'm taking the piss on myself there. Well, he's 33, yeah.
Yeah, there we
go. He's only just turned 33. Like a couple of weeks ago.
There we go. Fan off, yeah. And then you want to discuss it a bit more, Kev, or it's probably time for me to go to bed, really, lads?
Nah, I don't know. For me, just chillax. You know, as I said, I thought the game was on tonight because I was looking at it saying the 31st was the first. I remember it being the first, but no, it's the 31st. So yeah, it's in America. It's the 31st, and sorry, it's the first in America, and it's the 31st here. Or is it second? 31st in America, first year. Sorry, my bad. And
sorry, Chelsea.
I think once the lads kind of give their indication that they're going to sign new contracts or whatever, then it'll be okay. But if not, you just have to move on and kind of prepare regardless. They have to give some sort of indication that they're going to sign a contract so that Liverpool can do their business. Because I don't think Virg and Trent would leave the club hanging or guessing or needing to think if they're going to have to get replacements in or do whatever in these windows. I think they're just going to kind of it's going to be more contract negotiation than saying that we're actually going to leave. You know, so they know that there's money freed up from Thiago going and all these guys. So we just have to have patience, lads. But regards new signings, I think we're on the horizon for a new DM. I really do. I just think they're just going to do the right deal at the right time. And I think Liverpool think that they're not showing their hands by desperately going out there for a DM because they know they'll get charged an arm and a leg for it. We're going to need to, but I don't think they'll pay that until they really have to. And that's the difference. I think Liverpool won't pay the big money for the DM because they know that anybody can just like vulture off of them for a price because they need a DM. They're going to give out the thing. No, we're refusing. They're allowing this news to come out about Wataru Endo, by the way. They're like, no, we're refusing.
I read that last night. How does that sit for you, mate?
I think they're just showing everybody, look, we're not desperate. We'll hold on to Wataru if we need to, and we'll trust him. We can also use McAllister in there if we need to, because we've got a Curtis Jones and we've got a sit in front of him. We're quite happy with this because we know that McAllister can play that role as well. We don't want him to. We shouldn't have him to, but and a lot of fan heads can't fathom getting around doing that because they just want to say no, we want him in the thing. But sometimes needs must, and if Liverpool need to play in a negotiating game by saying, look, we're not going to show our cards, but if somebody pops up, we'll go for it. They know who they want. Liverpool know exactly who they want.
You
they just have to pull the trigger.
You know I'd love Kev in chat.
At the right time, sorry.
Centre back, Bastoni, if money was no object, go and get him. Valverde, that is my dream signing. Like, I know he'd never come. Well, we're just
how old is he now? Because they were trying to sell him off the last couple of seasons, by the way.
There was rumours over the last couple of years, but Valverde in this midfield alongside McAllister, like, that would be magical, to say the least. Anyway, even going back in for Tchouameni, if you offered them 110 million, go in, get him.
I think they'll bite the arm off you for around 70, 65, 70 because they're already after doing their thing on it.
Yeah. So, like, I'm just scrolling through Twitter here before we do shoot off as well, though, chat. And anyone just tuning in as well, getting your frustrations. We all understand your frustrations, and let your feelings be said in the comments as well. Express your emotions in terms of why you, what do you feel about FSG? Because me and Kev have done plenty of shows over the last couple of years. You know our thoughts as well, chat. I'm not a backer of FSG. I just want FSG to do what's best for Liverpool. But as Kev alluded to before,
nobody cares about owners, Jack, as long as they do right by the club.
Cares about that. We think we've got to focus on the starting 11 and giving Arne Slot the best possible tools as well to do the job. Regardless of whoever the manager is, they need the correct players and the correct funds. And I just don't get. And we said at the time, I remember doing, what was it, like 2 shows in the space of like 3 hours at midnight when that Saicedo bid went in. We were all like, whoa. If that wasn't a PR stunt, then where's our 100 million gone? Like, is it like fair enough? Are we gonna be spending that 110, whatever it was, on 2 or 3 players? Then sound, but don't come 24 hours before the window shuts and go, we're content with our players. Like, no, like Arne Slot will probably flip his lid, to say the least.
I think that this kind of scenario was the last one for Klopp as well, because you see that the FSG trusted Klopp to be able to do his job so well that they didn't think they needed to go out there and overspend on a player. I think this time around, Slot's going to say, we need a DM. This is the main thing that we need. If we don't get anybody else, we need a DM. And this has to happen. And, you know, look, like there's 190 million made just from the season alone last year, and that's even outside some of the sponsorship money. You know, there's a potential coming up for next season. If this is the last season with Nike, there's a potential for next season that it could top 800 million for a deal with Adidas, plus 20% of the sales that they have the same with Nike to beat Nike. They'll have to do a better deal than Nike, Adidas, to be able to do this, which means that they'll have to up their money per year to 80 million minimum. Nike will have to come up, so it could go up to 85 for Adidas to get it. Because they're all coming to an end now with their deals with other clubs around, and they want to move on to probably what the next best things are than what they have. We don't know what the next best thing. They're going to move on to something that's on par with the deals that they have within clubs and stuff. And Liverpool is one of the biggest selling clubs. It's actually in the league. Actually, we're the biggest sellers of jerseys for the first time in a good number of years. So they can see the potential there for sales and making the money in there, and they can see that they're doing it at an 850 million pound deal is the right way to do it. But it's all about that. Yeah, FSG have done the right thing behind this sustainability to bring back the growth of the club and all of that. It's just that it's only every so often that they see the importance of what needs to be done on the pitch. Besides that, and we can't deny that they haven't done. They've done it with Alisson, they've done it with Fabinho, they've done it with Salah, they've done it with Mane, they've done it with.
I'm praying that we do wake up one morning or it's like 10 o'clock and we got Paul Joyce going. Yeah, Liverpool submits like an £80 million bid. X player or whatever. And it'd be someone out of absolutely nowhere that we haven't none of us have thought about, and we're like,
that's exactly what it's the same every season, Jack. We always do it. We did it last season with Caicedo, and then we didn't go any further because that was
just out of nowhere.
Yeah, came out of nowhere. Thiago came out of bloody nowhere. You know, so they all did, and only for Thiago's injuries, look what he would have been great for us only for his injury level. But Salah came out of nowhere. Look how much he proved people wrong. People said Mane was a handful to bring him into the club. He turned down United, came to us. You know, there's a number of Bobby Firmino. They were like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Klopp knew what to do with him. There's just a number of players that are going to come in. So it's not about going out and spending a huge, vast amount of money. It's got to be the right player. And I don't care if we bring in a fella for 25 million that can do the job over a fella that can bring in that you'd pay 80 to 90 million for. Just because he's proven it at another club doesn't mean that it's not going to be it's not going to be too big for the same people when they come into the club, regardless of their cost or value. So I would take a Fofana from Monaco for the 25 million rather than having to chop this out and that and trying to please a Chouameni or something like that. That doesn't have the right attitude to come in the first place because he feels like he's stepping down. These are the kind of guys I don't want at the club. You'd want the talent at the club, but you don't want the attitude at the club, and that's the difference.
Yeah, 100%. And just looking at some of the comments as well, we got over the last couple of episodes as well. Chat, apologies. I'll get back to obviously showing them on the channel as well. That intro the shows as well. But Bav, pick up there, mate. Obviously, you are watching live or you watch on the repeat, mate. Thank you for your comments. He said this was in relation to our endo video that I done last night as well. He said indeed we'd be crazy to sell. I think obviously in relation to endo, what you can care what you just said there, Kev. The lad has a lot of heart. I reckon he is a great asset and he is up to being utilised as the new savvy new coach sees fit as well. 100% there, mate.
He's a good player. He just needs the right players around him. When he's left alone, he's a little bit, he's trying to do everything at once. So he should be a player that other midfielders come back and protect him in gaps, and he just does his job, which is get in front of players, intercept, tackling. If he has to block 2 or 3 players running at him, nobody can do that.
Yeah, he's not
but I've seen one instance in years or something like that happen. Do you remember that time when Van Dijk was running back? Was that against Spurs? And he ended up I don't know who it was, but he blocked. He's done it like multiple times where he's blocked and got in between players and did that.
Yeah.
But he's that elite type of player. Wataru Endo is about 5'9" and a good tackler of the ball and a good intercept and a good clearer of the ball, but he can't defend everybody on his own while trying to cover the lads at the back line. He needs a midfielder. He needs midfielders that can get back and help him too. So that's what it's all about. It's all about a midfield defensive unit. We're defending in a 4-4-2 drop back, by the way. So that means that another midfielder has to get alongside him for that to work. So he can't be doing it on his own anymore.
100%. Big up there, Wiggs. Yeah, we mentioned him when me and Kev done last week as well. But Wiggs, everything going is massive thank you for tuning in. You're absolute legends. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Obviously, hopefully a bit more news happens as well. But if not, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you always do get notified when a video is live. Kev, when you'll be obviously
watch along tomorrow night. Yeah, I thought it was tonight, but it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So obviously, so when we be live UK time, GMT?
Oh, I'll be live at about 12 midnight tomorrow night.
Yeah, so obviously head over. Obviously, Kev's channel links are in the description as well. So please do head over. Just subscribe. Yeah, it's time for me to. I cannot speak. I can't speak. I can't speak.
Who's that again?
Well, I don't even know.
Goldbridge. I can't speak. Yeah. That's what I said before.
But chat, have a very good Wednesday, halfway through the week. Nearly there, nearly the weekend. Look after yourselves. A massive thank you for everyone that is tuned in tonight, or if you are watching on the repeat up until this point, you're absolute bloody legends as well. And obviously, have a lovely rest of your evening. Look after yourselves, and we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time. And as always, Reds, you'll never walk alone. Ta-ra.